And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Flapjacks and Sasquatches sounds like a Monty Python skit or something to that degree. It's a small game which is basically a take-that style game. In that, I mean, in this game you're a lumberjack trying to chop down trees, and you're doing so by rolling dice and trying to do that, but at the same time you're playing nasty cards and other people playing good cards on yourself. Defending yourself from nasty cards being played on you by other people, and playing more good cards on yourself and playing nasty cards in retaliation. Let me show you how it works. Alright, here's what comes in the game. We got a tree deck, an equipment deck, some tokens to show chopping on tree. You get 5 green dice, and that's pretty much it. At the beginning of the game, you are dealt cards from the equipment deck. You get 3 cards, or the Jack deck it's called, and you look at these cards, and you also will start with 1 tree card in front of you. That's a card that tells you how to use tree cards. Here's a tree card. This is a red oak tree. It will take 6 swings from the axe to knock it down, and it's worth 7 points at the end of the game. Now, on my turn, I can play a card. I can play it in front of me, or I can play it in front of myself. Usually I'm going to play a card in front of me, if possible, because I want to get an axe. If I have no axe, I cannot cut down a tree. So I put this axe in front of me, and normally when I'm chopping down a tree, I get 3 dice to chop the tree down. But this is a dull axe, you can see, so I only get 2 dice. But hey, a dull axe is better than none. So I roll my chopping roll. If I roll a 1 or a 2, the axe breaks. Thanks a lot. If I roll a 3, I miss. Otherwise, a 4, 5, and 6 gives me a chop on the tree. So I got 1 chop on the tree and my axe broke. How marvelous. Now, hopefully later on I get something like this, a titanium axe, which lets me roll an extra die. So that gives me 4 dice. So I roll those and it can't even break. So forget you 2. 3's a miss. That's 2 more chops on my tree. Once I get 6 chops, the tree is chopped down, I get 7 points, and I get to draw another tree card to take its place. This will continue on till I get a certain amount of points to win the game. Once I get the 21 points worth of trees, I've won, and that's basically it. So players are trying to use these cards to help themselves. Now I'm showing you there are different kinds of axes, and there's other kinds of cards you can get, like here's the Flapjacks themselves. Add 1 die to your chopping roll, this turn only. Or you can play an axe break on someone else's axe that they have. Even that dull axe I had, you can play it on someone else and it will replace maybe their ordinary axe. You have cards that let you steal from other people. You have cards that make someone else lose a turn because there's a tree hugger on their tree. Or this, subtract 2 dice from your next chopping roll. The game has a very strong take that. The artwork is very cartoony. Sasquatches will show up and chase you down, or you can make someone else winded. I'm just showing you a whole bunch of different cards that can be played, equipment that can stop people from playing cards on you, paperwork. It's pretty funny artwork, and it all has to do with chopping trees down. And, you know, you can stop someone maybe from chopping a tree down or steal their tree or do what you can, but eventually someone is going to win. The quality of the game is okay. The corners of the cards are sharp, not rounded. You can tell that it's kind of a homemade production, but that's not too big of a deal. I mean, I think that you won't have a big problem with that. The game itself, I won't say that it's balanced, because it really isn't. I mean, I've seen people play and they went many turns before they finally got any axe, and then it broke on the very next turn. Those titanium axes are really powerful, and so the best way to get rid of them is to steal them, but then of course they can get something that might stop you from stealing. There's a lot of luck in the game, especially with rolling the dice. So the game, since it's so luck-oriented and there's not much strategy, then it has to rely solely on the theme. Alright, well you can make funny Northwestern accents or Canadian accents, or, you know, laugh with one another. This game is very much based, I think, towards the same group of people who like Munchkin. Although I don't know why I didn't find this nearly as annoying as Munchkin can be, but at the same time it's definitely in the same genre of games. Most gamers, people who like very serious strategy games, are going to shy away from this. I found it okay at best. Yes, I had a good time playing it, but I think at that time we would have had a good time playing anything. We laughed at the person who didn't get an axe 6 turns in a row. The second or third game, that's going to get really annoying if you don't get many axes in a row. So if you think the theme is funny, or you have someone who's a lumberjack or likes to go outdoors, maybe this will make a good gift for them. It's something I think you can play once or twice without absolutely dying of boredom, but after that, it's just not going to cut it for me.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.